It's the second Friday in June and we're busy underway with our workday today. I got a little bit of a late start this morning, I must admit, so I'm glad that today's receipts are not so very difficult. I'm busy working on our potatoes a la Duchesse, which will go nicely with our salmon, I think, today. I say boiled salmon, what a treat to have indeed. So at any rate, let's see. If you'd like to make the receipt at home, you'll need the following things. Cold mashed potatoes, flour, butter. All right, let's begin, shall we? I've got my board floured here nicely, and I think that's going to give me a little bit of a head start. For the life of me, I could not find my cake cutter, as is recommended in the receipt, so we're going to just use our knife and make the best of things. So I'm going to take my potatoes here, and I'm going to cut them, I'm going to pat them down here nicely into a sort of rectangular shape, getting them nice and even, much as you would when you cut biscuits out, when you pat them out like this. So get a nice flat shape there. I'm going to hedge my bets and dust my knife with flour, and then cut them into little rectangular pieces. So I'll start by making one rectangle of the whole mess here, and then I'll cut that into subsequently smaller squares. Right, that's the last bit cut. I'll clean my knife and tap it in a bit of flour. And now the trick is to pick them up from the board with the back of the knife, at least I find that to be helpful, to dredge them in a bit of flour and to set them here on this plate. The next thing we'll do is put them into the oven. I've already got the oven turned on, so I've pulled that little latch on the back of it to make sure that the oven is heating itself and not the range as much. So we'll dredge them in a bit of flour and place them on a baking sheet that I have over here. Now, the receipt calls for us to butter them as they bake, which seems like a good idea if I had all the time in the world, but I don't have necessarily all the time to be minding them. So I went ahead and put some butter on that baking pan, and I have set it on the range there to melt the butter. I think that will give us a little bit of a head start, as it were. So let's see, the last one there is dredged and ready. So now all I have to do is put them on the baking sheet and into the oven they go. Right. While those have been baking, I've taken some time to do some dishes and tidy up some things, but it's time for us now to do the next step of our receipt. So I'm going to take them out. You can see they brown somewhat nicely on the top, but they could do with a bit more browning, I think. So I'm going to put a little bit of butter, as Mrs. Harland recommends, just a little bit of butter on top of each one. That will help it to brown nicely. And I think I might give it just a shake of salt on top as well. Potatoes always want with a bit of salt, so I think that won't be amiss. Right, there's the last one done. Now I think for a little sprinkle of salt over the top. And they're ready to go back into the oven to finish. Alright, I think it's time to check those potatoes. They should be done. Let's see. Oh yes. Oh, they're so nicely browned. That oven is good and quick, my gracious. It's so very warm in here. Let's see. Oh yes. Oh, they smell divine. Buttery and potatoey. So very nice. Let's see. Let's get them up to our plate here, and we'll have them up and ready for our dinner meal. Right, right, that's the last one up. Oh, they smell so good. I wish you could smell them. My goodness gracious. Let's see, I think I'll just taste one little bite of one. Let's see here. This one's not so very neat and square, so it won't be missed. So delightful. And they'll be such a welcome addition to the salmon of ours, I think, a little later on. All right. Well, the stove is hot, so I must be getting my work done. So nice to have seen you again. So long.